Hello and welcome guys, and welcome to this happy vlog. So why are you so happy? I am happy because the Institute of Cost Accountants of India has taken an amazing step towards betterment of the students, towards welfare of the students, and yes, overriding its earlier exemption notification dated August 2022. The institute has released a new exemption notification which is dated 11th March 2024. And yes guys, many problems which we were facing in carrying forward the exemption from syllabus 2016 to syllabus 2022, all those problems have been aptly, most beautifully administered or addressed by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So before coming on to the notification, I would really want to express my gratitude towards the Institute of Cost Accountants of India for considering our genuine demands, for considering our genuine needs, and really listening to the voices of the students of the entire CMA fraternity. And yes, in this particular video, we are also going to discuss about the postponement of examination of June 2024 attempt. What is the fate of it? How are the exam dates going to be rejuggled? Everything we are going to discuss in this particular video. But first of all, let us come on to this circular which has been released on 11th of March 2024, guys, detailing out the exemptions which will be carried forward from syllabus 2016 to syllabus 2022. So I'll clarify for what all students, category of students would this exemption notification apply. Let me clarify that, guys. So this particular circular will apply to those students who have got some exemptions in syllabus 2016, and now when syllabus 2016 is no more there, they have to mandatorily convert into syllabus 2022. Now onwards, their exemption will be carried forward, or will it get lapsed? That is the main thrust of this particular circular which has been issued by the institute. So if you are a student who has given some examination in syllabus 2016, whether it's intermediate or final, and you have scored an exemption in either one group, one subject, then how would it be carried forward in syllabus 2022? That is the point of discussion in this particular circular. So let's start with the intermediate students first. So for intermediate students, if they have qualified their entire group in syllabus 2016, so this column refers to syllabus 2016. If they have qualified their entire group 1, all the papers have been qualified by the student in syllabus 2016, then entire group 1 is exempt in syllabus 2022. Similarly, if a student has qualified entire group 2 in syllabus 2016, then entire group 2 will be exempt in syllabus 2022, irrespective of the fact whether some subject is there in group 1 or 2 respectively. Irrespective of this fact. Yes, I am aware, sir. IDT is there in group 2 in the old syllabus. IDT is not there in group 2 in the old syllabus, in the new syllabus. In the new syllabus, there is an additional subject called BDA, which is not there in the old syllabus. Sir, would we be exempt from BDA also? Yes, you will be exempt from BDA subject also. So if you have qualified entire group 2 in the old syllabus, you will be exempt from giving entire group 2 in the new syllabus. Similarly, if you have qualified entire group 1 in the old syllabus, you will be exempt from giving entire group 1 in the new syllabus. Now I know what questions are cropping up in your mind, sir. Old syllabus group 1 had DT. However, new syllabus group 1 has DT plus IDT. Would my entire group 1 exemption give me exemption in DT, IDT subject as well? Guys, this particular point I'm going to discuss in my further deliberations. So just keep this point parked aside. I'll discuss this point in my further deliberations. Okay, sir. So the main crux or the main fundamental principle that we are following is entire group 1 qualified in syllabus 2016, entire group 1 exempt in syllabus 2022, entire group 2 exempt qualified in syllabus 2016, entire group 2 exempt in syllabus 2022. That is the base principle that we have derived from this particular discussion. Okay. Now coming on to subject wise exemption. Suppose if in group 1 you have qualified financial, you have got exemption in financial accounting subject, but you have not been able to qualify the entire group, then you will be given exemption in financial accounting subject. The exemption will be carried forward in syllabus 2022. If you have qualified law and ethics, you have got exemption in law and ethics in the old syllabus, then you are going to get exemption in business law and ethics in the new syllabus. If you have qualified, now this is the catch, guys, this is the catch. Talking about direct and indirect taxation, in the old syllabus, group 1 had direct taxation, group 2 had indirect taxation, and in the new syllabus, direct and indirect taxation is there in only group 1. Single paper, both the subjects are there. What will happen at that point in time? Okay. Now, guys, suppose if you have an exemption in direct taxation and indirect taxation. You have two exemptions. You have exemption in direct taxation and you have exemption in indirect taxation. If you have both these exemptions under the old syllabus, then your entire paper number 7 will be exempt, which is direct and indirect taxation. This is under an eventuality that you have not been able to qualify either of the groups. Your group 1 is not qualified, group 2 is not qualified, but paper number 7 is exempt, which means you have got scored 60 plus in paper number 7 and you have scored 60 plus in paper number 11. Your paper number 7 and 11 are exempt, but your entire group 1 is not exempt and group 2, entire group 2 is not exempt. Not qualified. Okay. So if your groups are not qualified, but your individual papers are qualified, which means your direct taxation is exempt and your indirect taxation is exempt more than 60 marks, then your entire paper number 7, direct and indirect tax, will be exempt. This is under situation, I repeat, where group 1 and 2 are not qualified, only there are paper wise exemption granted to you. Then entire paper number 7 will be exempt. Coming on to cost accounting, group 1. If your cost accounting paper in group 1 is exempt, then cost accounting paper in group 2 will also be exempt. OMSM remains the same. If OMSM is exempt in the old syllabus, OMSM will be exempt in the new syllabus as well. This is given the condition that your entire group is not qualified, entire group is not cleared. Only and only this particular subject is cleared, okay, is exempted. Okay. Next, cost and management accounting and financial management is the subject which is there in the old syllabus. Now this particular subject which is there in the old syllabus, this subject has been renamed as management accounting in the new syllabus. So if cost and management accounting and financial management is exempt in the old syllabus, then guys, in the new syllabus, management accounting paper will be exempt. Okay. Please note this fact specifically. Please note this very important fact which I am going to tell right now. Your paper of FM and BDA can never be exempt on the basis of your exemption in financial management. Please note this very important point. You have a paper by the name of financial management and BDA. There is no exemption which is particular exemption given to FMBDA if you qualify this paper, which is cost accounting and financial management. So cost accounting and financial management, if this paper is exempt and your group is not cleared, then your management accounting paper is exempt, but you still have to give financial management and BDA paper in the new syllabus. And finally, if your company accounts and audit is qualified in the old syllabus, then your corporate accounting and auditing is exempt in the new syllabus. So this is paper wise exemption which has been granted to you. Now coming on to very and in fact the most important point, the point because of which, in the earlier notification we had requested the institute to consider this point. In the earlier notification, this point was not considered. In the earlier notification, there was a little bit of hardship which is removed by this particular notification. Guys, I'm not talking about the earlier notification right now because you'll get confused. I'm talking to you about the new circular which is overriding the earlier circular, and let us consider only the revised notification or the revised circular, and the provisions are as under. Please read case 1 very carefully. Students who have already got exemption in paper number 7 and 11. So the situation is that you have got exemption in paper number 7 and 11, but you have not qualified group 1 and group 2. You have not been able to qualify, but you've got exemption in paper number 7 and 11 under the old syllabus. We'll get exemption in paper number 7, direct and indirect tax, under the new syllabus, syllabus 2022. Fair point. If you've got two exemptions, exemption in direct tax and indirect tax, then your paper number 7 will be absolutely exempt in the new syllabus, which is direct and indirect taxation. Now comes the changing point. Now comes the game changer and the turning point in the notification. Please read case number 2 very, very carefully. Students who have got exemption in paper number 7, which means direct taxation of the old syllabus. Students who have got exemption in direct taxation paper in the old syllabus. Students who have got exemption in direct taxation paper in the old syllabus, which means students whose group 1 is not qualified. Group 1 is not qualified, but direct taxation paper number 7 is exempt, which means 60 marks or above. These two conditions should be cumulatively satisfied. Number 1, direct taxation, old syllabus, exempt. Group 1 entirely is not qualified, right? And the student has passed group 2. Group 2 contains IDT. Group 2 contains IDT. Now, the student has passed group 2. Group 2 has been qualified under the old syllabus. Will get exemption in paper number 7, direct and indirect taxation, under syllabus 2022. It means that. Please consider these 2 points, which are very, very important. Let me demonstrate these 2 points, okay? Please consider these 2 points. So this is syllabus 2022. Syllabus 2016. First of all, we'll talk about syllabus 2016. Okay. Now the situation is, in syllabus 2016, in DT you have scored 62 marks. In financial accounting you have scored 32 marks. Okay. So your DT paper is exempt. But because of financial accounting, group 1 is not qualified. Now what is the status of group 2? In group 2, in IDT you have scored 50 marks. In all the other subjects, your aggregate in all other subjects combined together, your aggregate is coming out to 210 marks, which is you are scoring above 50% as an aggregate. But in IDT you have scored 50. Assuming that you have scored 50, 50, 50, 50 in all the 4 subjects, okay? 50, 50, 50, 50. So 200 is your aggregate marks, right? You have qualified group 2. Group 2 is qualified. IDT 50, costing 50, FM, costing and FM 50, then corporate accounting and audit 50, OMSM 50. 50, 50, 50 in group 2. Group 2 qualified. Group 2 is qualified, but in IDT you have scored only 50 marks, not an exemption. Then guys, your paper number 7 will be exempt. Your paper number 7 will be exempt. Your paper number 7 will be exempt. Now similar situation, if I consider a similar situation where you have scored DT, you have scored 62, right? In IDT also you have scored 62. But unfortunately your aggregate was 190 in group 2 and therefore you could not qualify group 2. This is case 2. Case 1 I have already explained. This is case 2. Case 2 is DT 62 but aggregate you have not been able to meet. Group 1 fail. Group 2 fail. But in IDT you have scored 62. So 62, 62 in DT, IDT exempt. Again paper number 7 fully exempt. Paper number 7 fully exempt. You need not give paper number 7 again. Paper number 7 fully exempt. So these are the 2 situations where your paper number 7 will be absolutely exempt. You don't have to give paper number 7. There are only 2 situations. Paper number 7 in the new syllabus. Please note paper number 7 in the new syllabus, right? Please note that these are the only 2 situations where your paper number 7 will be exempt. Paper number 7 will be exempt DT IDT only when these two conditions are satisfied. Condition number one, you've scored exemption in DT and IDT both, but you've not been able to qualify the groups. Okay, that is the situation. And situation number two, where your group 1 DT 62 marks, group 1 not qualified, group 2 has been qualified, IDT 50 marks, IDT there's no exemption, still guys your paper number 7 will be exempt. This is case 2. So to explain you this entire concept a little in detail, I have made 3 cases out of the notification, exemption notification. Okay, case number 1, syllabus 2016. You in group 1 in all subjects you have scored 50 marks, which means your aggregate is 200 marks, which means your group 1 is qualified, group 1 is pass. And in group 2 in all subjects you have scored 40 each, the aggregate is 160, which means group 2 you have failed. Okay, in that case your group 1 is exempt in the new syllabus, yes, including paper number 7. You need not give paper number 7, which means you don't have to give IDT paper ever in your intermediate. Yes, that is true. So all the students who have qualified their group 1 in the old syllabus, they have not studied IDT in the old syllabus. They will not be required to study IDT in the new syllabus as well, because they only have to give group 2, and group 2 doesn't have IDT in the new syllabus. So in effect, this case, the students who are covered under this case, they will not study IDT in their intermediate. They will study IDT only at the final level for the very first time. Yes, that is the interpretation which is there from this particular circular. Case 1, part 2. Group 1, all subjects you have got 40 marks. Aggregate is 160 marks, which means group 1 is a fail. But in group 2 you have got all subjects 50 marks, aggregate is 200 marks, which means you have passed group 2. You have passed group 2. In that case guys, your group 1 is not exempt. Of course you have to give your paper number 7, which is DTIT paper. Of course you have to give that paper. Now unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you say, those students have to give IDT paper again. They have already qualified IDT paper in the old syllabus under group 2. But again they have to give IDT paper in paper number 7, which is in group 1. So for the students who are categorized under this case, they have to give their IDT paper twice in intermediate. Once they had given in the old syllabus under group 2, and second time they have to give it again in the new syllabus under group 1. That is the interpretation which you can see from this particular circular. Okay, and group 2 is of course exempt. They don't have to give group 2 examination. Which means they don't have to study BDA, the additional subject which has been introduced in the new syllabus ever. Okay, so these are the 2 use cases. I hope you've understood these 2 cases. Guys, if at any point in time you have a case which is different from the cases which I have discussed on the board, please comment in the comment section below, and I'll try to make a separate video in consultation with the folks of the institute, clarifying your doubts. Okay, I have taken cases which are apparent from the circular. Okay, now very important, case 2. Case 2 is in syllabus 2016, in your group 1 you have scored 62 in IDT, your aggregate is 136, which means your group 1 is fail, but you have an exemption in DT. And what is the status of your IDT group 2? In your group 2 in IDT you have scored 61, which means your IDT paper is exempt, but your aggregate is 160 marks. Again your group 2 is fail under the old syllabus. Now sir, what will happen in the new syllabus? Guys, in the new syllabus, your paper number 7 will be exempt because you have scored an exemption in both DT and IDT. And you have to give rest all the papers depending upon wherever, if you have any other exemption, then you can avail that. Otherwise, you have to give all the papers, all the rest of the 7 papers in the new syllabus. This is case 2. Now coming on to case 3. And very important case, and this is the game changer case. This is the case where the earlier circular and this circular is different, because the earlier circular talked about a completely different thing with respect to this particular case. What is the case? Case is that in direct taxation in group 1 you have scored 62 marks, which means direct taxation is exempt, but your group 1 is fail. You have failed group 1. Okay, your group 1 is fail, and your group 2 DT IDT you have scored 50 under the old syllabus. Aggregate is 210 marks, which means you have qualified group 2. In IDT, you have scored say 40, 42, 43, whatever marks. You have passed in IDT. Okay. You have scored say 42 marks. It is irrelevant. But you have passed IDT and you have passed the entire group 2. Okay. In that case also, your paper number 7 will be exempt. This is a very big landmark change in the current circular as compared to the earlier circular, and I'm really thankful to the institute for bringing about this change, that if you have qualified group 2 and you've got an exemption in group 1 in direct taxation paper, then your paper number 7 will be exempt, which is the new syllabus. DTIDT paper will be exempt. This is a clarification which comes by through note number 2 of the circular. This is case 2 of the circular. Students who have already got exemption in paper number 7, passed group 2 under syllabus 2016, will get exemption in paper number 7, direct and indirect taxation, under syllabus 2022. Okay. So yes, for intermediate, this was the exemption from the old syllabus to the new syllabus. Now I'll be discussing about final in a short while. Before that, I want to talk about those students who have qualified company secretary examination, or those students who have qualified law LLB examination, or those students who have qualified engineering. What is the reciprocal exemption in the CMA Intermediate examination? Now students who have qualified their company secretary examination, which means final qualified, okay, not intermediate qualified, final qualified students who have qualified final of company secretary, guys, those students will get an exemption from papers of CMA course under syllabus 2022. In the intermediate, they have an exemption for direct and indirect tax paper number 7 in the new syllabus 2022. So if you have qualified your company secretary examination, then paper number 7 will be exempt for you. Similarly, if you have qualified company secretary examination, then paper number 10 will also be exempt for you. But mind it that you have to claim this exemption. Guys, the exemption which was stated over here, you don't have to claim them. You just have to fill the examination form and not appear in the examination. That will be automatic claiming of your exemption, right? This exemption will be automatically claimed by you. But mind one point, please remember one point. While you are migrating from the old syllabus to new syllabus, the online portal is asking you to tell which all papers are exempt. So over there, you have to mention that this is the paper which is exempt, okay? But the exemption process is very simple. You don't have to pay any fees. Just don't appear in the paper which is exempt for you. But in case of different, course, in this case, you have to specifically claim the exemption using the prescribed application per paper. Apply online at least 60 days prior to start of the examination. So at least before 60 days of starting of the examination, you have to apply for this exemption for company secretary qualified students. Again, if you have qualified LLB, then paper number 5, business law, will be exempt for you. And if you have qualified engineer, then paper number 9, OMSM, will be exempt for you. These are the reciprocal exemptions for lawyers as well as engineers. Okay. Now coming on to the final exemptions for the corresponding subjects in case of final. So guys, if in syllabus 2016 you have qualified group 3, then your entire group 3 in syllabus 2022 will be exempt. And if you have qualified group 4, then your entire group 4 will be exempt in the new syllabus, similar to what is there in intermediate. Group 3, paper number 13, corporate law and compliance. Your corporate law and economic laws will be exempt in the new syllabus. Strategic financial management will be exempt in the new syllabus. SCM will be exempt in the new syllabus. Direct tax will be exempt in the new syllabus. CFR will be exempt in the new syllabus. Indirect tax will be exempt in the new syllabus. So guys, in final it is pretty much straightforward because there is no juggling of papers. All the papers are same of the old syllabus as well as the new syllabus. So there's not much of complication in case of final. Now coming on to the reciprocal exemption, which means if you are a company secretary, qualified company secretary, then your paper number 13, corporate and economic laws, will be exempt, and paper number 19, IDT and practice, will be exempt. Final paper. Okay. Previously, students received subject-wise, very important note. Please read this note carefully. Previously, students have received subject-wise exemption on their qualification. Corresponding or equivalent paper will automatically be exempt under the new syllabus. So, if in syllabus 2016, you have already got an exemption of a particular paper based on your prior qualification like company secretary, like law, like any other paper, then it will automatically be given to you under syllabus 2022. You need not reapply for that exemption. That exemption will automatically be carried forward to you in the new syllabus without any fee payment. However, for other eligible papers where student also qualify for exemption under section syllabus 22, they must separately apply for subject exemption and pay the prescribed fees. So for any other eligible paper which you are eligible for in syllabus 2022, you have to apply for that exemption and separately apply for it. But if you have already been granted the exemption in syllabus 2016, that will automatically be carried forward in syllabus 2022. So yes, this is the notification which has been released by the studies department of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and a very, very important notification, guys, which will exempt many students, will get relieved specifically due to note number 2. I was in discussion with many students who were aggrieved because of note number 2 in the earlier circular. Many students who were saying, sir, our direct taxation is exempt and group 2 is entirely exempt. Group 2 is qualified, direct taxation is exempt, sir. Why shouldn't we be eligible for an exemption in DTIDT paper number 7, guys? The institute has heard your voice, and here is the result. The circular is in front of you. I'll be attaching the circular in the communities tab. Please watch over there. And yes, a big move towards students who have secured exemption in paper number 7 in the old syllabus and qualified group 2. They are now not required to appear in paper number 7 of the new syllabus. So yes, a brilliant move by the institute. Now coming on to the controversial issue. So whether our examination dates will be postponed or not. Guys, the elections are inevitable, and CA Institute has already given hints that their exam dates might be postponed. Yes, this is the eventuality, but unless and until there's an official notification of the revised date of CA examinations, we will not be clear as to when will our whether our dates will be rescheduled or not, whether there will be clashing of dates between CA and CMA and CS examination. All these things are not clarified as of now. Many students are saying, sir, let us write an email to here, to there, requesting them not to clash the papers. Guys, no need to write any emails. The authorities are well aware about all the 3 institutes. The authorities of CA Institute, CMA Institute and CS Institutes are very well aware about the clashing which might happen, and they in their wisdom will take suitable steps to ensure that students are not suffering. You need not write any email, you need not communicate or talk to anyone about it. If any clarification is there, the institute is going to give it themselves. Ministry of Corporate Affairs is governing these 3 institutes in a major way. So they'll ensure that clashing of examinations won't happen. And if there's any rejuggling of the date sheets, then it will be communicated to us by the institute. As of now, please don't spend your time on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, searching about whether the CMA exams have been postponed or not. Whenever the examination notification will come, I'll be the first one to update it on my channel, and you'll be able to get aware about it. As of now, prepare as if the examinations will start in the month of June as scheduled. And yes, last few days to go, few months in fact, not even months, March, April, May, 2 months and few days of March. Give it your best shot, guys. Now is the time to really give it your best shot. No Holi this time. Yes, no festival of colors this time. No celebrating Eid in a magnificent way this time. This time we'll dedicate our heart and soul towards our studies, because June attempt is round the corner and we have to really qualify in June 2024 attempt. On that positive note, all the very best and happy studying.